What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to Blinkr Weekly Update 21. Yay! My name's Kamal. I'm obviously the founder of Blinkr. If anyone's been watching the series, this is the 21st week I've been doing this, but I've been doing it for 282 days as of today. So a little bit longer than 21 weeks, but we are where we are. So what's been going on in the last week? Last week's program was more users, more problems. And I think that theme is continuing. The competition has really changed everything for us. We're now at 3,000 users, 3,000 users. We're growing by about 1,000 users a week. We haven't changed the budget on marketing. I spend roughly around maybe $2,000 of marketing a month. Gives us about 4,000 users. So we're paying less than $1 a user, 50 cents a user, which is super cool. Long way to continue, but obviously when I see 3,000 users on the app, I try to understand how many of them are actually using it, how many are coming back to use it, and what's happening in this competition. And the thing that we realized very, very quickly, the way the competition has been set up, where we've allocated 15 points for a video post, 10 points for an image post, 7 points for a text post, and then replies 10 for a video, 7 for an image, and 5 for a text. Because those points are so high, what very, very quickly happened was that the leaders very early on were building up huge points, because they would post a video. Well, first they started just posting lots of videos a day, and if you're getting someone to reply with just a yes or a no or a nice, a great job, all of a sudden you start adding up. So when new users were joining 2 days later, they go to the leaderboard and they see the first person's on 600 points already within 2 days. You're like, what's the point? So I've been racking my brains trying to figure out what we should do and how we should limit that. Well, the first thing I needed to tackle was spamming. Spamming is obviously the fact that someone just posts lots of posts on there just for points, for farming. Point farming. So how can I stop that? Well, the first thing we did, even straight away on the competition, is that we limited people to 4 posts an hour, and we started deleting more than 4 posts an hour. Officially, I'm going to make that official in the next competition, but that's not enough, because then what we found very quickly, as with any system, people try to figure out how to hack it. So every hour on the hour, 4 posts. Every hour on the hour, 4 posts. And I wouldn't mind that if they actually cared about the responses, but they really don't. Many people don't care about the responses. They're just AIing questions. And I'll deal with that. I'll come back to that in the next point. So how do I limit the spamming? Well, 4 posts an hour, and officially from the next competition, it would be 10 posts in a day. Now, that reduces the spamming. But what happens then? Well, how do you increase the quality of the questions? Before, we've been doing questions only get replies or get points if there's a reply to it. All right. So if there's no reply, you don't get any points. Well, people were just going on there and saying yes or no or nice or, really no effort in it. Well, actually, let's push it up to 2 points. 2 replies to any question before you get points. So makes it now more difficult. So you've only got 10 questions in a day, and you can only get points when you get 2 responses to the points. But that's not enough. How do we then make those questions quality points, quality questions, and people replying doing quality? Well, first thing we do is we reduce the points completely. We say a video is, I think we're going to do video 5 points, and a video has to be either a relevant video or a face-to-face video. An image can be 3 points, and a text can be 2 points. Or what I might even do is video 4 points, image 3 points, text 2 points, right? Very, very clean, kind of low scoring as well. So if people do that, you don't get up. You need a minimum of 2 people to reply. Now, before, people were replying to get points. Well, hang on, let's cut down the point scores. Let's say for a video reply, using your face, i.e. like I'm talking to you now, not just grabbing a video and posting it up there. Using your face will only get you 2 points, and a text reply will only get you 1 point. All of a sudden, you've minimized the gaps between all the points. You make it a lot more interesting for people joining. They don't see massive scores, and people won't just respond for no reason, right? The last key to it is limit the number of replies that anyone can do in one day. That could be 20, right? That could be 20, so a big enough number, but it also limits them, so they don't just sit there all day farming points on that. Right? So loads of new things I've been thinking about, been racking my brain about. I'm going to implement that in the next competition. But that still doesn't tackle 1 point. Where is the revenue coming? Revenue. Now, my brain is split in two. One side of me says, just leave it the way it is now. Continue to rack up users. Don't worry about revenue yet, which is, it's still early, right? And that's probably the right way to go. If you can get to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 users, which should be easy with the market that we're going to and the way we're going, then worry about revenue. And the way I'm thinking about revenue, the expert flow is coming. The expert flow is something, but I don't think the expert flow is going to take off straight away. I think that's going to be a slow grind while people get to know the platform, while we get experts on there. I think that's going to take a while to build up, and that'll be running in the background. So I can't consider that revenue. What I need is like big shots of revenue. The way I thought about it is, and tell me what you think in the comments, I would start like all social media these days, they start with the blue tick. I'm going to call it the gold tick just to be different. But the gold tick states that if you do not have a gold tick, you can only post a maximum of 4 a day, full stop. And you can only reply to a maximum of 10. So your chances of winning the competition are going to be very, very low. If you get a gold tick, which will cost you, let's say $2 a month, you have a better chance of winning the competition. If I have implemented that now and I've got 3,000 users, if 100 people pick up on it, that's $600, right, in revenue. But 100 people aren't going to pick up on it now because the competition is being won by a few people who, and unless you've won a competition or taken part really aggressively, and you're not going to pay the $2. So the point is, let it run longer, play in this new system, pick up your users to 20,000 users. And instead of asking if now 3,000 and you want 100, let's make it easy. Let's say 3,000, you want 300, that's 10%. On 20,000, you can do 1% or 2%, and that would still bring you enough money to make revenue, pay out larger competition sizes, make it more interesting, have more prizes. So that's what's going on in my head. But obviously revenue is important, right? Because I'm doing all this, and all of you know I've been paying duck from my pocket all the time. So revenue is important for me. I've got to be honest. It's getting to that point where I've been doing this for a year now, and revenue, it starts to kind of say, right, I need to start looking at the revenue model. Do I go to investors? I got so far into this. I honestly think about going to investors now. I would get kind of upset right now. Why should an investor buy in when I put in all this effort and kind of said, right, now I've got something that's really marketable, really growing exponentially, right? And I haven't put that much money in. Sure, and investors will come in, but then I have to answer to people, then I have to do the thing. I would rather go to an investor when I have, 1 million people on there and say, look, this is my valuation, buy some of my shares and buy me out. That's a different thing. So, I'm not really going after investors right now. I'm not really going after that and saying, hey, give us money to help me grow. I'd rather go after sponsors, marketing money. Obviously, I would love to kind of own this company, me and myself, 100%, right? And not have investors sticking their noses in right now. If this really does become the new go-to app, really what it is, apart from it being the competition style, it really is informative. If you go on there and when we start to pick up the quality of questions, it is kind of great to go in and understand people's real life questions and things like, there's a lot of questions about family. Why are Indian parents, and this is one that I really enjoyed reading the answers, why are Indian parents so strict? Another one about, their clothing, do you believe traditional clothing commands respect? Lots of questions, football questions, cricket questions, where I love just reading through people's different opinions. And I think when we tighten up the questions and the rankings, those opinions and those questions will come a lot more interesting than what they are right now, where people are just throwing them out for no reason. But that's the hope anyway. And then you can add the AI onto it, and you can add all these things, and it becomes super fun. The AI responses, and then what we can do, there's all these little features that I have to start thinking about as well. The share button, the follow button maybe. But then I think I was listening to Diary of a CEO this morning, and they were talking to someone, and he's like, listen, the reason why any company is successful is because they've been going through the process and they've got to that process. So why do you go through all the steps of that process to get where they are? So if Instagram and TikTok and Facebook have a follow button, there's a reason why the follow button is there. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, just go with that. It's successful. Now, when you get to that critical mass and you can start trying new features, but the main points are there, the main things are there. Think about that, right? Before you go and try to add new features or do new things, just look at what's around. Because there's a lot of things that you can just pick up on and put them in without having to worry too much about, does it work, does it not work? Because it's tried and tested, right? And then you can build from there. Anyway, so yeah, let's see how it goes. I think that's enough for me today, for this week. 12 minutes, 13 minutes, whatever this video cuts into. My editor hopefully won't cut it too much. I hope you like the background. I thought I'd do one during the day. Dubai behind me, midday traffic. It's flowing at the moment, which is good. Construction behind me. It's going to be the second tallest tower in the world behind me. The Azizi Tower. If you want to Google it. Azizi. Z-I-S-I-S or something. My editor can put up a picture of the second tallest tower in the world. All right. Have a nice day, everyone. Have a good week. Be safe. Thank you for tuning in. Click like, subscribe, share, all the things YouTube's asked you to do. Please, really trying to grow this channel as well about doing this. And if you like this, look at my other videos, honest entrepreneur videos, kind of fun as well. Bye-bye, people.